Good evening to one and all. Welcome you all to the Daily Indian Express newspaper analysis for the date 18th to 20th April 2024, brought to you by Ganesh Academy. Okay, let's look into the today's newspaper analysis. Mentioned here are the list of articles which we are going to have the analysis in the upcoming slides. So have a look into it. Let's analyze every article one by one. Mars rover. So the news is related to the NASA's Mars rover, and there has been a hiccup or the issues related to the delay in the completion of the project. That is taking the Mars object from the Mars planet by the rover, which has been sent by the NASA. This is what the details is about, and that is the reason why it appeared in newspaper. Let's look into the link of the news with the examination. So under prelims, the news has been related with general science. Similarly, under mains, it has been related to GS paper 3, science and technology. Through a major, science and technology is the major topic, under which a subtopic called awareness in the field of IT, space, computers, robotics, nanotech, biotech, and issues relating to IPR. So this is how the news has been related with examination. Okay, let's look into the details of the news. The cost of the proposed NASA mission to gather the rocks from the Mars has been spiraling upward because of certain delay or certain longevity, or the project is taking the usual time, then it has been actually calculated, and the mission is called as Mars sample return because it is going to bring back the sample of the Mars, and it is central to the research in the Mars for the science of life that has been prevailing in the planet. NASA has hoped that the Mars sample return would be costing around 5 to 7 billion and it would be arriving by 2033, but the actual estimation is going above the 5 to 7 billion, and it is expected, if the process which is going at the current speed is being carried on, means then the sample will be returned by 2040. So this is what the latest reviews that has been analyzed by the NASA the data has been giving about. And in order to reduce such a kind of delay, what the NASA scientists or the NASA's administrators are going to do is that they are going to simplify the mission and trim the process so that the output will be, or the outcome can be achieved at the desired duration, that is 2033. So let's look into what the Perseverance rover is about. It is the robotic explorer to land on Mars as part of NASA's ongoing Mars 2020 mission, and it seeks the sign of ancient life and collects the sample of rock as well as regolith, that is the broken rock and soil, for the possible return to the earth. The rover will collect these samples of rocks as well as soil and encase them in tubes and leave them on the planet's surface once the process has been done. It's about 3 meters long and 2.7 meters wide and 2.2 meters tall. So this is what the physical features as well as the characteristics of the Perseverance rover is about, and it is about the size of the car, but weighs only 1025 kilograms, and multi-mission radioisotope thermoelectric generator converts the heat from the radioactive decay of plutonium into electricity, which has been fitted along with it in order to overcome the negative issues that has been arising because of the heat. So this is what the details of the Perseverance rover is about. Let's look into the details of the Mars. So it is the fourth planet from the Sun, and it is half the size of the Earth, and it is also called as red planet because the rusty iron on the ground surface on the Mars making it as the reddish in color. So that is the reason why it is called as red planet. It is also a dynamic planet in the case of seasons and the polar ice caps, canyons, and extinct volcanoes. Because there is dynamism in the seasonality, there won't be any kind of stability in it, and it has very thin atmosphere as well as the lower gravity when compared to Earth. And Mars has two moons, that is Phobos and Deimos. So this is what the details with regards to the Mars is about. And what are the things which we needed to be further aware of is, we should be aware of the planets. What is planets, how it is formed, and what are the different types of planets that is available. and what is the layer of the earth and moon, and we should be also aware of the atmospheric layers, and each and every layer specialties also we should be aware of. And these are all the things which we needed to be further aware of, and with this we have reached the end of this topic. Heavy rainfall in Dubai. So recently there is a flood in Dubai. So what is the reason of it, and what damage the recent flood has created, or what is the intensity of the recent flood is about. So this is what the details which we are going to analyze in the upcoming slides. Before that, let's look into the link of the news with the examination. Under prelims, the news is related to India and world geography. Similarly, under mains, it has been related with important geophysical phenomena like earthquakes, tsunami, volcanic activities, and cyclones. So this is how the news has been related with examination. So Dubai has recorded the heaviest rain after a severe thunderstorm that has hit the country. It is a historic weather event which has surpassed anything documented since the data collection which began in 1949 and the actual formation of the state 1971. Heavy rain is unusual in UAE because it is present in Arabian Peninsula. It occasionally rains in the region during the cold winter month. So this is what the actual climate of the Dubai is about. So what actually happened? So thunderstorm dumped the 142 millimeter of rain into the desert. Usually this kind of rain will be taking place around one and a half years in Dubai. But this amount of rainfall has happened in one day in the Dubai itself. So an average year will be seen 94.7 millimeter of rain, but the one day of the Dubai, last week one day of the Dubai has witnessed 142 millimeter of rain, which is highest since 1949. The heavy rain has led to disruption in the connectivities like air travels and other telecommunication connectivities, and across Dubai homes were flooded, and there is a loss of properties and loss of life has also been noticed. So what has led to this kind of massive rainfall in Dubai? So the primary reason it has been quoted is the storm, and which was passing through the Arabian Peninsula after moving across the Gulf of Oman. Experts also say that the rain could be possible because of the cloud seeding that has been happening in the Dubai. Cloud seeding is nothing but the spraying of salt mixtures in the atmosphere. Because of the chemical reaction of it, the rainfall will be occurring. Nearly 7 to 8 times the cloud seeding was injected in the atmosphere of the Dubai in the recent weeks. The UAE's National Center for the Meteorology also said that, so as I said, 6 to 7 seeding flights have been made before the rain itself. Some experts also say that climate change could also be the another factors that is responsible for the increased rainfall in the Dubai. And at the same time, high temperature will be causing evaporation of water not only from land but also from the ocean. So high temperature means there will be more amount of water vapor that will be present in the atmosphere, which could be also the another reason for the heaviest rainfall that has happened in Dubai. And 1 degree Celsius rise in the temperature is happening means then the atmosphere can be able to hold nearly 7% more amount of moisture. So increased temperature rise will be leading to increased amount of moisture in the atmosphere, which could lead to increased rainfall in the future dates because of the precipitation as well as the condensation mechanism that is happening in the atmosphere. This has led to increased precipitation intensity. This is what I have said. So these are all the many factors which has been put forwarded by the experts, and it has also been attributed that any one particular factors could not be said as the reason for the recent rainfall in the Dubai. It is the multiplicity of the factor and these factor combinedly could have resulted in the flood in the intense rainfall in the Dubai. And at the same time, apart from the climate change, it is the El Nino phenomenon which could also be contributed to increased rainfall in the Dubai. So this is what the thing with regards to the news is about. And what are all the things which we needed to be further aware of is, we should be aware of what is El Nino and what is climate change, what is United Nations framework for convention on climate change is about, and you should be aware of monsoon and urban flooding, what is the cause as well as the impact of the urban flooding is about. So these are all the things which we needed to be further aware of, and with this we have reached the end of this topic. Drop in FDI. FDI is not the incoming FDI, there is a drop in the outgoing FDI, that is the FDI that has been made by Indian citizen or the Indian businessman or the Indian industrialist or the Indian government in the other countries. So this is what the news is about. Let's look into the link of the news for the examination. Under prelims, the news is related to economic and social development. Similarly, under mains, it has been related with Indian economy and issues relating to planning, mobilization of resource, growth, development and employment. So this is what the news is, this is how the news has been related to the examination is about. Let's look into the further details of the news. India's outward FDI or the overseas direct foreign direct investment has declined by 39% to $28.94 billion in the year that has ended in March 24. And in the year ended March 23, the outward FDI is $46.96 billion. The data also include the data that has been released by the government also include the FDI from the automatic route and also from the approval route. And of the total overseas direct investment, commitment through the equity route stood at $9.62 billion in fiscal 24. So this is what the segregated data with regards to the outward FDI is about. And apart from the commitment to the equity route, there are other two segments, that is the loan commitment. So the commitment in the form of loan that has which has led to the outgo of the FDI is also stood at $5.24 billion against the $7.73 billion in the financial year 23. And this outward FDI depends on the opportunities that is available in the outside economies. So because of the slump or the slowness in the economies that has been faced by the global countries, this decline in the outward of FDI has maybe happened. So this is what this opinion that has been raised by the experts in the recent decline of the outward FDI is about. So what is FDI? It refers to the investment made by the companies or the individuals in one country into the business interest that has been located in another countries. It involves significant level of ownership and also control over the invested entity. So this is what the FDI is about. And what benefit does it hold is FDI can bring in capitals, technologies as well as expertise into the countries, thereby stimulating the economic growth holistically. And then it often increases job opportunities, enhance productivity and facilitates the transfer of skill and knowledge. And most of the investment that is coming from the foreign source is of the non-debt in nature. So that is the one of the major advantage it has. And thirdly, FDI can also foster the competition, leading to improved efficiency and innovation within the domestic industries. So this is what the benefit the FDI holds in an economy. And FDI differs from other form of government or the government's investment or the normally the investment. So how it is differing? First is it is the long-term investment. Secondly, it creates the lasting interest and control over the ownership or the business of the other industries that is present in the foreign region. So this is how it is been differing from the normal investment. So what factors will influence the foreign direct investment inflows are political stabilities as well as the regulatory environment. These are all the main two factors which will be ensuring the inflow of FDI in an economy. Secondly, market size and growth prospect will also influence the inflow of the FDI. Thirdly, infrastructure, labor cost as well as the access to the resource. It's also the another major reason for the inflow of the FDI in an economy. So this is what the cost difference as well as the factors that influence the FDI inflow is about. And what need to be studied further is we should be aware of what is foreign portfolio investment, what is balance of payment, and what is purchasing power parity, real exchange rate as well as the nominal exchange rate is about. These are all the things which we needed to be further aware of. And with this, we have reached the end of this topic. Disinflation gains. So for the past 2 years, the disinflation trend has been continuing, and the recent increase in the consumer inflation or the predicted rise in the inflation in the future dates should not hamper the disinflation gains that has been accumulated over the period of 2 years. So this is what the perspective or the outcome of the recent monetary policy committee is about, and that is the reason why it has appeared in newspaper itself. So let's look into the linkage of the news is about. Under prelims, the news is related to economic and social development. Similarly, under mains, it has been related with Indian economy and issues relating to planning, mobilization of resource, growth, development and employment. This is how the news has been related with examination. Let's look into the further details of the news. So even as the consumer price index has moderated in the past 2 years, RBI's monetary policy committees has cautioned the experts or the minutes of the monetary policy committee has cautioned that the predicted food inflation risk in the future dates should not hamper the disinflation gain that has been accumulated over the period of 2 years. And MPC has also left the repo rate unchanged and kept the policy stance as withdrawal of accommodations. And the gain in the disinflations should not be tampered, and the gain in the disinflation should be preserved and need to be persisted for the upcoming period of time. This is what the observation that has been made by MPC in the recent meeting. So let's look into what does this disinflation is about. Disinflation is the decrease in the inflation rate. Unlike inflation and deflation, which refers to the direction of the prices, disinflation is referred to rate of change in the inflation. And disinflation is not considered as problematic because the price does not actually drop. A healthy amount of disinflation is necessary since it prevents the economy from overheating, which will be leading to economic turmoil, thereby reducing the speed of the economic growth. And then disinflation is considered the opposite of reflation, which occurs when the government stimulates the economy by spending. So this is what the details of the disinflation is about, and this is what the difference between disinflation, inflation, deflation as well as reflation is about. So what is the major cause for the disinflation in an economy? First and foremost important cause is the tightening of the monetary policy, and then selling of the bond by the government will also be leading to absorption of the cash flow in an economy, and then contraction in the business cycle will also be leading to reduced economic activity, thereby reducing the money supply in an economy, which in turn will be leading to deflation. This is disinflation. This is what the causes for disinflation is about, and what are the things which we needed to be further aware of. We should be aware of what is inflation, what is GST, and what is the significance of it, and what is RBI, and what is the function of it, and what is the monetary policy committee, and under which act it has been formed, whether it has been formed through an act or through an executive order. So these are all the things which we needed to be further aware of, and with this we have reached the end of this topic. Let's look into today's practice prelims question. Mentioned here is the today's practice prelims question. So those students, those who are watching the session online, please do comment the option point for the question which you are seeing right now on the board. So with this, we have reached the end of today's session. So do like, comment, share as well as subscribe Ganesh IAS YouTube channel so that you will be receiving daily current affairs session notification and also weekly environment as well as science and tech notification, and also any other important sessions notification that will be brought to you in the future by Ganesh IAS Academy. Thank you.